Okay, so you're starting blacksmithing and you are going to go out and get your first hammer. So, which one to choose? Well, this is just my humble opinion about it. If you already have a bunch of hammers that you're going to use, skip this video and go to the next. So, here I have a selection of different hammers that I have. I do have different sizes of each one of these hammers, but just give you a quick overview of some of the common hammers that you will see. First one, claw hammer, because it has a claw. Mostly used for framing houses and all that. If this is all you have, you can forge with it. I wouldn't recommend that being your first one you buy, or even using mostly for forging, solely because they usually are lightweight and they usually have a small head because they're made for, well, nails. So the next one, and this is actually my everyday hammer. This is a cross peen hammer because it has a cross peen on the one side. And this one's actually a square face. You can get them in round face. I like the square face ones. Good hammer, nice hickory handle. These you will also find online labeled as machinist hammers. I'm really not sure why, but they're technically a cross peen because they have the cross peen. Now you have other ones where it's diagonal peen, so instead of being kind of in line, they're off a little bit to the side. I've never used one of those, so I'm not going to go really into diagonals and why you would have one. Don't know. Then we have your ball peen hammers, solely because you have a ball on the end. And this particular one has a fiberglass handle. Now, I really don't like these fiberglass handles, and it's not because they're made of fiberglass that bothers me. It's normally every fiberglass handle I've ever seen has a rubber grip on the end of it. And even forging for a couple of minutes, that will pinch my hand and I will get blisters from that. I actually, when I use this hammer or any of my other fiberglass handles, I actually have to wear a glove on my hammer hand, solely because, well, I get blisters from this. I've tried multiple times without a glove and it still does the same thing. They're not comfortable at all. This is all you got, of course, use it. But, man. Now, one I don't show, which a lot of smiths on YouTube actually have, and it actually, I think it's more of a farrier's hammer, could be wrong, but that's your rounded hammer. Just a little description of it is, it's, the one side is like my cross peen, where it's a nice flat surface, and the other side is actually a rounded surface on it. So, you know, it's supposed to be it's almost, you know, it's like a ball peen, but the ball is very subtle. Like the dome of it is very subtle, as opposed to the ball peen where it's like shaped as a ball. I can see the advantage of it. I don't own one. I've never used one. So not really going to go too much more detail in it. But what I would choose as a first hammer, not the claw hammer. You have one, that's all you have, use it. There's nothing wrong with it. The only reason why I wouldn't recommend it for going out and buying one is, like I said, they're usually very lightweight compared to the other ones, and the head is often small because it's made to hit a nail. It's not made to move steel. The next one, the one I really would pick, is actually a ball peen. And even though my cross peen is what I use all day and what I love using, its availability and price point, at least here in Canada, a ball peen hammer, a good ball peen hammer, the same weight as a machinist hammer, is going to be at least $10 cheaper at a hardware store in my area than it would be to actually get your cross peen machinist hammer of the same weight. So I know a ball peen that's about 2.5 pounds with a hickory handle. Mine's fiberglass, but with a hickory handle, ranges about $25, $30. Now, obviously, you can go to a garage sale or, you know, flea market or whatever, and you can pick up a really good old ball peen hammer for next to nothing, less than $5. I've seen them. So that's the route I would go. And a lot of the earlier projects that I'm going to be working on, and I would actually advise you to work on, well, to work up your technique, actually would use a ball peen hammer. You would get more use out of a ball peen hammer than you would out of any other hammer that I own. So we're going to go with the ball peen hammer to start off with. And yeah, don't know if any of this information is good for you guys or anything like that, but that's basically the reason why I'm going with a ball peen hammer as the first hammer in this series, is because they're easy to get. You can get them cheaper than any of the other ones, and if you get a good weight one with a good handle, you will use that for the rest of your blacksmithing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video.